Hello, my name is Leslie Dell and I am the President of the Canadian Association of Immersion Professionals, otherwise known in French as ACPI. It is a great pleasure to reveal for the first time the preliminary results of the survey conducted by ACPI in October 2016 in an effort to better understand the professional realities of French immersion in Canada. 46 questions were made available in French and in English through SurveyMonkey. The questionnaire was completed by 641 participants and is the first step in a significant pan-Canadian consultation conducted by ACPI and supported by Heritage Canada. The second part of the consultation, which started in early February 2017, involves a pan-Canadian tour to each province and territory. The first part of the survey looked at the profile of the participants. 641 people participated. 83% completed surveys. 86% were completed by women. 30% were between 41 and 50 years of age. 92% have university studies, and 22% have 5 to 9 years of experience in immersion. 75% were teachers. 45% were primary teachers. 51% came from the West. 29% live in Central Canada, and 18% from the East. We then asked questions identifying the linguistic competency in French of the candidates. 54% have English as a mother tongue. 37% self-identified as Anglo-dominant. 40% attended bilingual post-secondary education. 68% self-identified as very fluent in reading in French. 64% very fluent in oral conversation in French, and 50% very fluent in writing in French. 40% identified as fluent in writing in French. 51% identified open to improving their language competencies in French, and 27% would consider it. 50% wish to improve their oral French, and 47% their written French. 32% affirm choosing French cultural products every day. Next, we wanted to evaluate the perception of the resources and specific tools used in French immersion. Here is what our participants shared. 57% judge low availability of resources specific to immersion. 49% judge fairly high quality of resources specific to immersion. 49% generally agree that access to resources and information are sufficient to support them in their roles. 41% are unfamiliar with research in French immersion, and 60% seek out tools for students for support in the classroom. 68% are in need of subject-specific resources, especially in French, oral, writing, and reading. Moving along, we questioned French immersion educators about their profession and the level of support received within their assigned roles. The results are 45% somewhat agree with belonging to a professional network. 84% prefer professional development activities such as PD days, conferences, educational forums. 46% have very little access to the sharing of practices. 48% somewhat agree that they feel supported by their colleagues. 40% somewhat agree that they feel supported by management. 51% somewhat agree that they feel supported by parents and the community. 71% think that filling jobs is difficult, while 69% blame the lack of qualified teachers. The last part of the survey aimed to better understand the challenges, the issues, the problems, and the strengths perceived by French immersion educators in Canada. In this section, it is an overall actual state of immersion in the country. These are the elements that drew our attention. First and foremost, the participants identified in this order lack of time, lack of resources, poor access to authentic experiences in the Francophone community as being their three biggest daily challenges. Second, participants named the level of teacher competency, the lack of French immersion educators, and the management of immersion by English-speaking school divisions as the three biggest current issues. As far as problems are concerned, candidates are worried about the French language proficiency of teachers and the limited access to resources specific to immersion. Finally, candidates identified that bilingualism being increasingly valued by Canadian families as one of the biggest strengths of French immersion in Canada. So this concludes the summary of the preliminary results of the survey directed by ACPI. The consultation work can now take place through roundtables and discussion groups across the country in order to clarify the data and brainstorm solutions. As such, the Pan-Canadian tour is extremely important to us. Meeting you and engaging in conversation with you regionally is the key to acquiring a precise and inspiring portrait of Canadian French immersion educators. Consult ACPI's website or our social media in order to follow the progress of this consultation, which will be a precious tool for the future of French immersion in Canada.